Hi, my name is Brian. Today we're going to go over the features of the reliable 2300 SZ direct drive zigzag sewing machine. So of course our first feature is the direct drive motor. It's quieter, smoother operation. You don't have a belt being driven from a motor below the table. It's direct drive from the motor to the machine. What we also have on this machine is an automatic bobbin winder. So as you're sewing, you can wind the bobbin at the same time. Not like some of the older models where you actually had to disconnect the hand wheel, wind the bobbin, and then start to sew again. So moving forward, we have an adjustment knob here. So what this does is puts pressure on the foot as you're sewing. So now we will move over to a lot of our operation knobs here. So what this is, this dial here is the length of the stitch. And what this lever is the width of the stitch, the actual zigzag. So when you set the width you want, you turn your locking screws and it will lock that width of zigzag that you want to sew with. And there won't be any fluctuations in it because it's locked in. Moving down, what we have here is a left, right, center needle position. Now, this is you normally use when you're using a zigzag operation for applique, cresting, and whatnot. So what we also have is a reverse lever for when you're sewing your beginning and the end of your seam, you reverse to lock your stitch in. What we also have is index stitching or one-step stitching. So as you're sewing and you're coming to an end of a seam and you just want to come up to it slowly, you can press this button one at a time and it will give you a half stitch step. So you can step up efficiently exactly where you want to stop. So when you're locking your machine into straight stitch, no zigzag, there's a knob over here that you just turn clockwise and tighten. And what that'll do, it will give you a straighter straight stitch, locking the mechanism in. So this is your knee lever for lifting your foot. And the hand lever to lift the foot behind the machine. And this helps you with accurate sewing so you don't have to take your hands off the material if you don't want to hold it into whatever position it is. So what I'm going to do now is program the 2300 SZ sewing machine. First of all, we're going to turn it on. It's a switch right in the back of the housing. You'll see it reset itself. Also, you're going to see a rotation cycle. That's just telling you that the motor's activated. So you have a P and an S button. So press the P and it will go to P01, which is your speed setting. Then you go to S. So the machine right now is set at 1000. By arrowing up or arrowing down, you increase and decrease the speed of the machine. We don't recommend to go over 1000. If you're sewing heavier stuff, then go to lighter. If you're just sewing a standard material, then you can go the speed at 1000. So when you have the speed set, press the S and it will just go back to the rotation. Now the speed for the machine is set. So another function this machine has is needle positioner. And what the needle position does, it stops with the needle in the material when you stop your sewing cycle. So as you're sewing and you just stop sewing when you come to a corner, the needle will stay down. And what that allows you to do is then turn the material with the needle in it and then start sewing again, and you don't lose your position on what you're sewing. Now, to have the needle stop down, you can see, all you're seeing is a rotation on the screen. So by pressing the up button, or you can actually see there's a needle insignia here, needle up, needle down, you will see that a dot appears. When that dot appears, that's going to position the needle up when you stop. And when you press the button again, the dot disappears. Now it's going to position the needle down in the material when you stop. When you do this, you do not have to press the S button to set the program. It stays in automatically.